guys, so today I decided to do a different type of video. As most of you will be girls and you're going through school, we all know that one of the most confusing things about growing up is understanding how boys work. So I figured today I would bring one of the male specimen to the channel just this once.
Hello.
Hello. This is Luke and he's going to be...
Serious.
Serious, just for once. He's actually not going to throw things in my face.
Mm-hmm.
So, progression. Yeah. So I have my own questions,
yeah.
and I also ask people on Twitter to send their questions. So think back to like when you were at school, and you were like 14, 15, kind of girls are a confusing thing, and boys are a confusing thing. So just trying to think back to that mentality of how you were. Okay, so I was going to start with one of my questions, but I'm going to get the silly one out the way. Because this is the question I was literally asked the most. When boys wear skinny jeans, where does the wing wang go? Because that is a mystery to girls. Genuinely.
It generally like you pick a side, and it sort of just.
Doesn't that hurt?
No. I genuinely mean to do that. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Generally, it picks a side and it goes
picks a side.
Down.
Like you just put them on and then just one just goes.
Yeah, well, I think most guys their thing has like a side it sort of leans more to.
Yeah, I've heard that. Some people hang left, hang right.
Yeah, so I think it just sort of like right now I think I'm left.
Okay.
I'm not wearing skinny jeans, but I'm slightly left.
Okay. Good to know, everybody.
You asked.
Luke Cutforth hangs left.
I don't know what that means. What if that means something?
So like I think before we move on to like what do you do if someone fancies you sort of thing? Like, let's talk about school for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's get the proper school things out of the way. Number one, boys' toilets stink. Why? Discuss. They are disgusting.
So what?
Do you have a pee trough?
Shall I go really into depth?
Yeah, we want to know.
Really into depth. Okay, so when you're a guy... So firstly, yes, there's some places have a pee trough. It's just, if you don't know what a trough is, it's just literally just a metal line along the wall and you just wee in it. Why men's toilets stink?
Yeah.
How far into detail should I go? So
moderately, I think.
Okay,
so
for certain reasons, and anatomically, I won't go into even more detail.
That's fine. You
can't always wee completely straight when you're a guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you go to the toilet and you genuinely are like, I'm gonna wee, and
it comes like a spray,
you don't know. You sort of have to guess where it's gonna go. Not a spray.
That's pressure.
We're not cats.
That's
we're not like marking our territory.
That's serious pressure though.
But yeah, you have to sort of guess where it's going to go. Because like sometimes you can just wee and it can go just off like that way.
Can you not just like kneel really close into the urinal and there's like
could,
no way of...
Like,
you look a bit weird, but...
This is why you wouldn't survive as a man.
Okay.
You can't like you can't like place yourself in the urinal.
I don't know.
But no, it's not even that.
It's
more like toilets. Because like when you're around 14, 15, you don't want your friends looking at your willy, and so you sort of you use a toilet even though there's a trough perfectly good trough to use. But you use a toilet, and so when you go to the toilet, you sort of gauge is it going to go left, right, and you're sometimes wrong, and it just splashes all over the floor.
So the smell is basically guys who have
It's just lots of wee all over the floor.
But it's so pungent. It's so...
That might be something to do with the fact that guys just people in general don't. They don't hydrate properly. If you drink the right amount of water, you don't.
Your pee doesn't stink.
Wee.
That is true. And also, this is genuinely true, and it's slightly off topic, but genuinely, if you eat a lot of fruit, if you have a lot of sweet fruits, it does actually make your pee smell like less disgusting and more sort of like a sweet kind of.
Good.
That's just I know that sounds really weird, but.
Come and smell my wee. I'm gonna be serious, aren't I?
If a girl had a crush on you, would you prefer them to be upfront and let you know about it, or keep it to themselves and sort of subtle hints, or how would you like a girl to let you know whether they're good looking to you or not, or whether you know them well or not? How would you like them to be, or how would you have liked them to be when you were 15?
I think. Firstly, it really depends on whether you like them. Because if you don't, I've been in situations where someone's been like flirting with me and I don't like them, and then that's just awful. And it's just like I don't want to even be near you.
Okay.
Not even in a horrible way. It's just awkward, and you don't want to lead someone on. I think even if I really like someone, I wouldn't want them to be too over the top.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like then you don't have to try.
Yeah, there's no chase. It's kind of
there's no chase, and
there's no mystery. It's like, oh, that person likes me.
Yeah, that person likes me. I could do the thing if I wanted, and if you then notice someone who maybe doesn't like be so obvious, then you might be more inclined to go for that person.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I get that.
I think it's true. Like my mum always used to be like, "Oh, play hard to get," because I used to go out with people who then like a month later lost interest in me, and it happened so much. And I was like, "What am I doing wrong?" And it was just because I was too obsessive. Because I had like 3 years of being a freak, and then a couple of years of being not so much of a freak.
Yeah.
And so I sort of was like, suddenly I was able to be with girls, and I was like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever. I love you. I'm in love with you. Come here." And
you want to hang out every 10 seconds?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I look back on old Facebook chats, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just in love with you so much, and I want to spend every moment. I'm just like, no.
And
Luke,
you're with them for like 2 weeks.
Luke.
Been there.
Luke, chill.
I've been there.
And so I think at any point in anything, until you're like married, it's still nice to have a little bit of sort of
banter, kind of like not too.
Just don't be too. Yeah, don't be too. So yeah, I think if you like someone, especially the girl, I think be a little bit sort of
mysterious.
Hard
be
to get.
aloof. You know.
Be a bit hard to get, because then you sort of, I don't know, it makes it more interesting.
You're not sort of putting yourself on a plate, being like, "Hello, you have me." No,
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I'm saying with that? Like, there's
Take
no.
me.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the situation where you don't know this girl, like you may have seen her in the corridor, but you've never spoken to her. She's in like maybe the year below or the year above, something like that.
Yeah.
If you really don't know that person, would you rather that girl try and make conversation, say, "Hey, I like you,"
That's a whole different thing.
Or have their friend say, "My friend likes you"?
Oh no, that's a whole different thing. So if it's someone you don't know and you're like, "Ooh, damn," I think in that case, if you're that girl who doesn't know the guy but you're like, "Damn," and he's like, "Damn," I think be a little bit sort of just like catch eyes with them and that sort of thing. Like
maybe don't try and get into their friendship group and like.
Yeah, don't be creepy about it. Just make them like not feel like you're completely ignoring their existence, but also not feel like you're staring at them and being creepy. So what was your other question?
Like when a girl's like, "Oh, my friend likes you. My friend fancies you."
No, I did that in like year 6. It wasn't. I was in love with this girl called Emily in year 6.
Okay.
And this is year 6. This is when I was 10, and I asked her out. Either me or my friend Daniel asked her out for me.
Okay.
I think I asked her out maybe. And we were 10, and she went, "I just don't think I'm ready for a boyfriend." And me and Daniel were like, "Ha! Idiot. She's like 10 now. She should totally be... She should
totally
be
ready.
She should be getting
10.
with guys now."
Yeah.
And it was the most hilarious thing to me. I was like,
She should be
you're not 7 now, Emily. You're 10. 10.
You're double digits
Yeah,
now.
10.
Okay.
God.
Jeez.
Grow up. But yeah, none of the friend thing, it's just lame.
It just feels a bit uncomfortable, doesn't it? It's like, oh, okay, what am I meant to do with this information?
Yeah, I think again, this is really difficult because I don't want to generalize or anything like that. But for me, I think it's sort of, especially in school, I think it's sort of known that the guy asks the girl.
Yeah, well, I don't
and that's
like
sort of,
that.
I don't like it.
No.
I don't necessarily like it, and that's sort of.
It is a well-known thing.
The girl, I think, it's a bit weird. If it sort of feels like if a girl you like's friend comes up to you, it's not nice. It sort of just feels like she's been discussing you with everyone.
Impersonal.
And that's because girls in school talk to each other about guys a lot, and it sort of feels like a lot more pressure. It's like you're having a relationship with all of them.
Yeah.
But not in a good way.
I get
But,
that actually. No, that makes total sense actually.
Yeah, it's just like a bit. Yeah, it's a bit too much pressure. The same for guys. I wouldn't go around going, "Oh, this person's got a funny bum. Let's all discuss it, lads. Lads on tour." I just
Banter.
No.
Yeah. No, I get
I also
that.
don't really have many friends.
The thing is, there are guys who do discuss things like that with their mates. It is a sort of.
That's horrible.
It is sort of an immature kind of 15, 16-year-old thing to do. Like, "Oh yeah, I saw her boobs yesterday." "Oh right, I suppose." It's kind of like there's sort of this sort of bragging thing. Like, "Oh, have you done it yet?" "Oh yeah, I have, like 12 times." That sort of mentality, I can't imagine you being a part of that.
No.
But did you ever see it a lot?
Yeah, loads. I mean, I've had friends who've encouraged me to be part of it as well. But I think that with both guys and girls, I think that encourages you to say things that you maybe don't mean. So
Yeah.
like if you say like if say you're a guy with a girl
Mhm.
or you're a girl with a guy, and one of your girly friends is like, oh, has he got a big willy? And
Yeah.
you think about it and you're like, no, not very big. And then you sort of didn't mean to say it, but then you sort of start to believe it because all your friends know it, and that's sort of
Yeah.
And if you go, similarly with a guy, like if his friends are like, oh, what's a boobs like? And then you say something that you maybe was like a tiny issue in the back of your mind, like,
It's then at
oh,
the
she's
forefront
got
of
a
your mind.
funny nipple or whatever. It's then the main thing you think about because you verbalized it. If it's like if you verbalize a problem that you're having, it then becomes the main thing in your life because all your friends around you know it.
I had a good question on here a little while ago. What does it mean when a girl is always the one to text first? Do you think girls think too much into the amount of kisses and who has to text first and things like that? Because when I was at school, like when I had boyfriends, like I would always be the first one to text, and then oh, he only left 2 kisses instead of 3. Like, does this mean he doesn't like me anymore?
If you're the girl who always texts first and that bugs you, then don't text first because they'll soon miss you and they'll soon come running. But if they're worth it, if they don't, then they're not worth it. I think that's how I'd see it. Because but it might be a completely innocent thing. It depends on the guy. It depends how you read the guy. Because I have friends. I'm basically never the person to text first with anyone. Just because I'm so absent-minded and sort of I have friendships and relationships to a certain extent where I sort of you can go a few days without really saying anything to each other, but then pick up where you left off and not feel any pressure to constantly be like, love me, lick me.
Whereas, like, I do think, like, some girls, I mean, including me, I'm not saying all girls, but I did go through a phase where I thought, well, this person has to text me back in 2 minutes. This guy obviously doesn't like me. Why is he not texting me? And then I text him, like, do you not like me anymore? Why aren't you texting me back? And of course that never does any good in any relationship.
I was pretty much, in a load of my relationships, always the one who texted first. And then I suddenly realised that those relationships were the ones where I liked them more than they liked me.
Yeah.
And they weren't the right person to be with. So, yeah, I mean, my advice to that would be if you're the person who texts first and that bugs you, stop texting first. And if they don't start texting you, then I know it's hard to hear, but it's not
worth it.
That's not a perfect match for you then.
Okay, so lowering the tone a tiny little bit. Let's say like 12 to maybe like 17, 18.
Yeah.
What is the fascination with boobs? I am dying to know this. Because to us, it's just like, yep, there's just boobs in her chest. What's the big deal? But guys, like, it seems like all that guys talk about when they're like 12 is like, I want to touch her boobs and boobies. And is it just, do you think it's a fascination because you guys don't have them? Do you think that's part of it?
I don't know. Well, the girls get like fascinated by penises. Like not in
a
like
little bit, maybe,
well,
actually.
That's probably the same thing then. It's
but we
I don't have one of those.
But we don't talk to our friends
Wanna
like, oh, I
flap it.
really want to touch this guy's
Oh no,
penis.
obviously, but that's Well,
But, like,
some
guys
do.
will-
Some do. I have some friends who are like really weird and creepy. But like, I don't know. I don't really remember being fascinated with boobs. Probably because I was too busy being bullied. But I don't. Yeah, cause like that whole like the first 3 years of my sort of teenage life, pretty much. I think this is not me being dramatic. I pretty much don't remember them anything other than being bullied, which is weird and sad. But I sort of don't remember anything. I sort of blocked it out again.
That makes sense.
But yeah, that was the most important thing in my life for those 3 years. So I remember the girlfriend I was with for 2 years, but I don't remember
boobs.
Well,
no particular.
Not in that
boob.
sort of.
No.
I mean, like, I remember sort of being just like that taking over my life so much that I sort of don't remember much else.
Fair enough. Do you think like?
But I mean,
maybe...
like boobs are sort of like the kind of thing where you're like, when they're hidden, you're like, oh, I want to see that, and then you do, and you're like, oh, all right, that's.
Boobs are very anticlimactic.
Yeah, they are a bit.
Yeah.
I think that's true with
everything.
Like sexual thing. Like if you actually think about it, like if a girl wanted to see a willy, she's like, I want to see that willy, and then she sees it, and she's like, oh, it's just another willy. It's all weird and flappy and
weird and
droopy.
Yeah.
And the same with like, I genuinely, I was thinking the other day, I tweeted something like, I watched Nicki Minaj Anaconda.
Yeah.
Which is just loads of butts. It's literally just butts for 5 minutes.
I've seen.
And I was like, I don't find this attractive at all. I don't understand why butts are nice because they're all like they're literally for pooing and farting. And then I was
true.
like, I don't understand how, like, if you were to see, you know, sex sells, and you see like a bikini model on a billboard, that's only sexy because she's not naked. And if you see a hot man like this on a billboard, it's only sexy because he hasn't got his cock out. If you just had like
swearing. Excuse me.
If you had a billboard of like Lynx deodorant, and you had like boobs aren't, not all boobs are like porn stars. And so if you had an average woman who was like boob, one boob's bigger than the other, and the flappy lady parts, you wouldn't be like, God, I want to buy some Lynx. You'd just be like, why is that on a billboard?
Yeah, that's true though.
And so everything about like sex and stuff isn't actually great. It's only great when you can't see it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Like boobs
it's sort of the chase again.
Yeah, boobs aren't that exciting. Vaginas aren't that exciting. Penises are really unexciting. They're like an elephant. Butts are just weird.
Do you think that like some guys perhaps become fascinated with boobs because their friends are talking about boobs all the time?
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
a case of you know, people putting the idea of boobs in the back of your mind, and then suddenly like, yeah, actually, I think I would like to see some boobs too.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
What is the attraction of beards? That's true, actually. Like, when guys are, like, 14, 15, they get their first little bit of stubble, they're, like, so desperate to show it off.
Well, that's obvious.
Is that, like, just
That's obvious. It's
I am a man now.
Who's more grown up? That's it. Who has more testosterone?
I guess.
That's
so
it.
that's,
That's
a nature.
Yeah. It's just, oh, who's got... Because, like, yeah, like, you growing a beard just shows you're more towards being a man. So that's what it... I didn't get a beard till, like, 4 years ago. When I was like 16, 17, I was not a man at all. So when I was like 15, 16, my mum left a razor in my room for when I first needed it, because obviously it's like probably like a girl with a bra or a period. You don't want to ask. It's probably quite awkward to ask.
Yeah.
And so they just sort of left it, and it was literally there for a year before I needed it, and she left it there when I was like 16. So I wasn't very manly.
Fair enough.
Still not.
Okay, I think we can probably end on one more.
I
think. Why is it like if a girl likes a guy and the guy appears to like the girl and they're getting on pretty well and things are like, oh, they're nearly asking each other out and stuff, and then the guy just completely loses interest, like doesn't want to talk to you, is really off with you, won't text you anymore, is that like, do you think that's intentional, like the guy just doesn't want to know anymore, or do you think there's like...
Part of that with some guys is the playing hard to get thing.
Yeah.
Like if you, like I've been in the situation a couple of times where I've been texting someone I like and then suddenly being like, oh, I'm coming on too strong, or this is going too quick, or whatever.
I should cool off a bit.
Yeah, I should chill for a moment, or they'll just stop liking me. So maybe that. Maybe they're just a rubbish boy, in which case, punch them in the willy. Sometimes guys just find someone else. Girls probably find someone else as well, I'm sure. When you're sort of, I don't know what age the person who asked this question is, but when you're sort of like 14, 15, 16, you sort of change your mind very quickly about stuff. And sometimes you can, I'm not blaming you for this, but sometimes you can say something that then makes them freak out because they think you're too into them. So it's all about trying to like not come on too strong or play hard to get a little bit sometimes so you don't freak anyone out. It's the same way for girls and guys. If I was texting someone who I was sort of flirting with and then suddenly went, I love you, let's get an island and live there, then they'd be like, whoa now, hey now. What should we call our future children? No, things like that. Hey now, yeah, back off. So probably, those are a few things, but if you've not done that and you don't think you've done anything to make that happen, they're probably just an asshole, so you should probably just leave and never look back. That's good advice. Thank you. I like that. I am the guru. I think, like, just on the flip side, I have been like that to guys, though. At times, I have tried to really cool it off. And that's just because, like, I think I want to break it off with them, but I don't want to actually say it. If I've been gutless and like, oh, I don't want to break up with them, it's really awkward. Yeah. You kind of try and make that other person... You think it's kinder to sort of drift away. Yeah, and then hope that person breaks up with you. I admit, I'm guilty of having done that before. So maybe that's I've done that, yeah. Not in the same way. I'm obsessive over what people think and whether people are happy, like to the extent like that I put that before myself sometimes, which is stupid. So I've done that, but sort of like I sort of slowly do it. The one time I have done it, I think I then just was like, okay, I feel bad about this, and broke up with them to not leave them hanging. That's probably like I've been dumped like 50 times, and only dumped someone like 3 times.
Oh.
So that shows you my track history of ladies. But always the dump, never the dumper.
Dumpy.
Yeah.
Dumper,
Always
yeah.
the dumpy, never the dumper.
That's it. Cool. Thank you for being in the video, Lukey.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us some insight into the crazy male mind of like a 14-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. You can check out Luke's channel. It's a little bit less serious than this one.
Yeah.
Although all of you know who Luke is anyway.
There's
But
like 2 serious videos on there.
yeah, true. 2
If you wanna
out of
find
like
those ones.
400 maybe.
Yeah. Well, yes. And if you have any questions, I can be in another thing. So
We can always make another episode, so just leave your questions for Luke about boys and how boys are in the comments below, and Luke will try his best to answer them. Again, Luke doesn't represent all boys, all of the male gender. I don't represent all the female gender.
I'm sure I'll have annoyed someone in some way with something I've said. I haven't intended to. I have no idea what it'll be, but if I have, then I very much apologise for that.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Good. Okay.
You can go now. Bye bye. Bye guys.